All right, welcome back to yet another video of AI vibe coding, a series where I do as little work as possible and get AI to do all the work for me when it comes to creating various different AI apps, websites, products, tools, whatever it may be. We use Replit, ChatGPT 4, and even voice-to-text AI. And in this video, we're going to be making Polymarket. And with this series, it's not saying that this is a quick way to do things, nor is it saying that, hey, this will only take 10 minutes. No, what we're gonna show and what I've been showing with every single video that I make is that it is not hard to do. That's the only thing that I like to show here. So let's get into vibe coding, a prediction markets model that does something similar to Polymarket. And just in case for those of you that don't know, prediction markets are a really cool, newer form of technology where people can put money behind different outcomes of certain things. It can be something as big as, will Elon Musk run for president? Something like, will Trump win the presidency? Or will Biden, whatever? Or it could be something small like, will Trump say diaper in this meeting? Or will there be an XYZ occurrence of number of protests over something? Or it could be like, will the Indonesian protests here become even more violent? Or will there be a ceasefire in Gaza, which I hope there will be. For example, there are a lot of outcomes in real world instances like the winner of Love Island. The winner of these outcomes were chosen on these prediction markets before they went actually live. So smart money oftentimes knows the outcome for stuff before regular people like you and I do. So let's see if we can vibe code something that does something similar to these kinds of products like Polymarket or Kalshi, and ideally make the base for it, because when money gets involved, you can't really vibe code it, but make the base for it where smarter people than us can then add on stuff to it and then add the money or the on-chain or the crypto part to it. Okay, so before we go into the actual building of this, let's go through the flow that I usually take in every video that I've made. So number one thing that we do is always talk to GPT-4. We ask it questions, they write the prompt for us. When we have a problem, we tell it to write a prompt to feed Replit, all these things. You could talk directly to Replit, they have an agent in there, but the reason why I like to use GPT-4 to kind of like make my prompt better is because I use voice to text. I make typos, I have grammatical errors. And for me, most of the times, whatever I'm telling it is like, yo, fix this, but like different flavors and fonts. So when I tell the GPT-4 and I give it the instruction that's like, hey, when I tell you a problem that I'm facing with this build, make me a prompt that is so good that like it fixes it initially the second I give it to Replit, because it makes it much more descriptive and much better than what I can write or I'm willing to write. Then I paste it directly into agent. I do have the paid version of Replit, can do this for free. It just might not be that good. I pay like $20 to $30 a month. And the reason why I pay that is because I truly believe it's worth it. I make all these videos with it, of course, so please subscribe to this channel so I can keep affording stuff like this. So as you can see here, I basically just talked to GPT-4. Again, voice to text, I didn't even type this. And it gave me this entire prompt that we're gonna copy the entire thing for and paste into Replit. And once we did that, which took, I think, maybe like 16, 17 minutes of thinking, it gave us this. Again, this is amazing already. So far, in like 5 minutes, we've created the basic UI, the front end of this entire application for prediction markets something. So on Replit, we can see here, we've already run into some problems, even though a lot of this is good. They added a light mode, dark mode on their own, which is absurd. They added a sign in, which we could use with Privy or sign in with Google or sign in with a Replit account, whatever we end up choosing to do. And they named it Vibe Market, which I think is funny. And not just that, the UI here in light mode, at least, is not bad. And we have pretty good options for these sample markets too. So what we could do here to make this a little better is add on to the browse markets and to the trading markets. And then I want to add a sign-on menu for the things that I just mentioned. And then let's also make sure that when it's in dark mode, the UI doesn't disappear. And to do this, we're just going to make this list in our head, feed it to GPT-4 here, and then be like, write a prompt that I can paste into Replit to fix this. We could, like I said before, talk to agent directly, but I think it's just a little bit more nuanced and descriptive when we use GPT-4 to do this. Okay, so far so good. A few things that we need to fix is that in dark mode, the UI of the body text is really, really hard to read. It's basically doing dark mode on dark mode, and we need to fix the UI so that you can read it much better. This is the sign-in that Replit gives you, which is really, really amazing. So we'll press allow. And the thing when it comes to vibe coding, especially with stuff like Replit, is that you need to parse out the things that you're putting into this that you want it to fix. So we had a list of like 5 things. Instead of saying all 5 at once, you should be doing one by one by one. But again, this is really good stuff so far. And at the end, when we have the basic UI and backend backend implemented, we're gonna go to a different software called Poof, which is basically Replit, but using crypto, Solana, to do some sort of backend stuff with crypto. Maybe we can figure that out. We'll see about that, even I don't know. So let's tell it all the things that it needs to fix. And when you press browse markets on the home page, let's have it open up to an actual page that shows all the different markets. We should do stuff from social, economic, political, crypto prices, stock prices, earnings, etc. Every single thing that you think is good to add to this, let's add it to the browse markets. And same with the start trading. When you press start trading, let's have it open up to a page that's similar to like a trading UI page that Polymarket has, with graphs and prices and buy and sell. And for the sign in, let's for now just have a UI that shows eventually we will plug in, sign in with Gmail or a Phantom wallet or Privy or Replit. So I told GPT, here are all the problems, here are all the stuff that we want to do a little better. It'll write us a prompt. We're just going to feed that prompt directly into Replit and we'll let it fix all the stuff that I think that it needs to be fixing. I hate saying GPT so much. Greg Heffley is now writing a code that we can just paste directly into Replit and have Replit fix all this stuff. We're going to try to implement code on chain into this, meaning that we're going to plug crypto somehow into this. And the way that we do this is by using Poof, which is another software. It's basically Replit for on-chain Solana stuff. Like you can do actual crypto on-chain stuff with this, which is honestly brilliant. GPT is done. It wrote a big ass prompt that we can then feed into Replit. And again, all I ever do here is just copy and paste stuff. Okay, but until then, while this is working in the background, let's talk to GPT and tell it that we're gonna plug in Poof to do some sort of backend stuff. Okay, so we're gonna plug crypto into this, similar to how Polymarket works. For the actual betting and gambling and predicting these markets itself, let's use crypto. I'm gonna be using poof.new, which is basically Replit for on-chain Solana apps. It's not as nuanced and capable as Replit is. It can probably only do like basic functioning things, but write me a prompt that I can feed into Poof so that it understands that it needs to create the back-end crypto on-chain part of this application. They've literally taken crypto, AI, vibe coding, put it all into one thing that actually works pretty well. I actually made an application completely on chain in like 10 minutes that usually would have taken you ages to do. Okay, it's going like very in depth into this, which is okay. Remember, you're not actually writing the code. You're writing the prompt to feed Poof. Okay, up here to filter what we want to do. It even has volume, ending soon, trending. The UI itself is not horrible. It's not the best, of course. Even here, we have culture, crypto, tech, sports. Amazing UI that's being built here. Honestly, is really all you need. Because the UI, you need to hire a UI UX designer anyways, unless you're okay with shitty UI. This is all you need because this adds all the most important parts. We even have a simulation only on the bottom, which is pretty funny, and the Ford demo on the top. Here, the dark mode mostly works as well. I think dark mode is much prettier than before. This is amazing. So now let's press start trading and see what kind of like trading terminal it's built for us. Okay, it's done on the Replit part. I don't know what it just did here. It's choosing a handle. They added a referral code option, 1,000 money, play money guaranteed. They added like a whole gambling thing to it as well. Only problem is like when I press start trading, it doesn't work. Let's see how this looks like now. Another thing that Poof just finished doing is making the back end for this. Again, probably not something you should put into mainnet and start taking money for, but it just created anchor program with CPMM prediction markets. It includes the creator market, buy, share, resolve market, etc. It has an anchor test. And like I said before, if you're like me and you don't understand any of this, obviously don't start taking money. Obviously, this isn't something that is super secure and you should do with no audits. It doesn't have its own security risk or whatever, but you saved so much time by using Poof to start the crypto part of this application. And I hope that helps. Again, these series that I've been making for this vibe coding stuff is not to show that, oh, it's so easy, it'll take 5 seconds. And no, as you can see throughout this video, I lost my mind like 8 times. You can plug in crypto, you can do whatever you want, and you don't need to know engineering because I definitely don't. And I hope this video helps show that. It's not going to be easy, but it's going to be very doable.